You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together, we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wooldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Hey there, ho there, hi there.
Hey, and Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Hey, guys.
All right. Well, it was quite the weekend of football. We've got that to talk about. Some interesting tweets. We've got a very special fan focus and a very special Bolt Insight, a repeat. A part 2, if you will. So something to look forward to.
He may or may not be here later in the episode. Fehoko may or may not.
There you go. So
I forgot about that stupid comment. May or may not.
And as always, a long Ask Boltfam, but let's get down and dirty with it. Let's see. Justin Herbert hasn't really slowed down since the season ended. A TikTok was posted of him playing basketball, and well, some kids got wrecked. Let's just put it like that.
Stop me!
Oh, that's so good. Like I could only hope to get dunked on like that. I would happily get posterized, print that picture out, and put it up on my wall.
Right?
Yeah.
I would love.
So sick.
Do we know anything more about this other than he just showed up at a school and dunked on some kids?
Somebody tagged us in it, and I was like, oh shit, that
There's
happened.
how do we even know when that video was from? You know,
His
like,
hair
it could have
looks
been an old
pretty.
clip.
He's
hair
got the
looks
flow
pretty-
going.
The flow is pretty long, so it's not end of last season. End of last season, he had nada. So
But that could have been like a Oregon intramural type thing. No matter what, either way,
either way,
it's pretty cool.
It's
pretty
awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you've got more information, because I haven't seen anything else in regards to how this all came about. Somebody, put it down in the comments or something.
And somebody else posted a video. I think this might be from Oregon, actually, because somebody else posted a video of him playing dodgeball and just wrecking some dude.
Well, hopefully at the Pro Bowl he does, because they're going to have that back.
Did they say they're going to have it back?
I believe so. Let me double check. But yeah, I think they're bringing it back.
Giving me something to look forward to. Like, yeah, that's like 2 weeks away, too. That's like
February
in between.
6th. Mark
It's
your
in
calendar.
between the championship game and the playoffs. So it's something to look forward to.
Absolutely. All right. Well, these games this weekend, holy shit balls. What a weekend of football. Like, my God.
Fun to watch. It was a lot of fun football.
I mean, it was crazy because on Saturday, you start off with the Bengals and the Titans being the first seed. Everybody's probably thinking, unless you're a Bengal or a Bengal fan, you're probably thinking Titans are going to take this. And they did not. Bengals won by a game-winning field goal, 19-16.
Dude, Burrow almost got sacked 10 times in
Insane.
one game and still won.
Yeah.
That just shows you how bad Tannehill is. Tannehill doesn't have it.
Dude, I just didn't see that. Maybe they just lost identity because Derrick Henry was back and they're like, I don't know what to do. What are we? Who are we? Go. It's like
break.
Yeah, 16 points in a game. Like, the Bengals defense ain't all that. There's no way they should have been held to 16. Both number 1 seeds just dudded after the bye.
Right. Yeah. The next game was the Packers and the 49ers. Packers being the number 1 seed of their division. And
49ers defense is good. And man, I watched that whole Packer game with my wife because she's a Packer fan.
Sure. Yeah.
Dude, like, I thought our special team, we've had bad special teams in the past. Like, this was like some of the worst special teams play. The last field goal, that Robbie Gold, the former Bear, went out to kick. Green Bay only had 10 players on the field.
Right. Yeah. A lot
weak.
of people pointed that out. That was
It's like, how bad are you going to this up? Like, that's crazy.
that bad.
Deebo Samuel is no joke.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Deebo
He's real.
is the real deal.
Real
that
deal.
guy is insane. They had a couple of huge first down pickups there. on that last drive. He just refused to go down. That guy's a stud.
Yeah.
He's going to get freaking paid this year.
That was quite the upset at at Lambeau.
The yak guys. I'd like to get a yak guy.
What's a yak guy?
Yards after contact.
Yards after catch.
Oh, okay.
So, like, because we don't have a lot of yak guys. Debo, he's a yak guy.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like Austin Eckler is probably the closest thing to being in a yak guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, a wide receiver.
You want a wide receiver to do that? Well,
yeah, dude.
Hey, come on.
Like Tyreek Hill's a yak guy. Everyone's applauding.
That is the part. That's the one part of our offense that's a little bit missing. They be able to hit him underneath, and he just takes it to the house. You saw Tyreek do it on Sunday.
Right.
They hit him over the middle at 10 yards, and he just ran past everyone for a 60-yard touchdown.
Everyone loves Mahomes. They're like, "Oh my god, look at his numbers." I'm like, dude. Shut up.
Tyreek Hill.
He hasn't thrown. He didn't throw one pass for over 20 yards in that game, and it was just all yak yards.
That's
he
interesting.
ran the ball. His
term.
little turtle shuffle. I don't know how he even moves fast. I don't know how everyone doesn't catch him.
Josie watched the game with me, and she's like, "What's wrong with him? Why is he running like that?"
I don't even. And apparently, he's moving quick because no one can catch him.
He was the leading rusher at the halftime. So
he led the whole team in the Chiefs in rushing in that game.
In the whole game, there you go.
Yeah, he had like 70-something yards.
That's crazy.
And did you see his wife spray champagne from her box down onto people?
No,
she was spraying champagne.
Yeah, she's a bit of a joke.
Her.
I'm sure his brother was TikToking along with
He's
it.
just dancing. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It was stupid. So, prior to that game was the Rams and the Buccaneers, and I mean, Rams were leading practically the whole game.
Dominant. Yeah,
and Buccaneers slowly started to make a comeback, and they just couldn't pull it off.
You thought the Brady magic had come back. Like,
right. Yeah, you thought the comeback was going to happen.
Why won't you die? Basically, is the way that it felt. And then
Cooper Kupp magic was alive and well.
Yeah.
That guy is a beast.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp had a hell of a game. But then the last game was the Bills and the Chiefs. And boy, the ending of that game was out of control. The ending was insane. Gabriel Davis, I mean, you want to talk about somebody who's out of control.
Game.
That guy was crazy. 4 touchdowns. I couldn't believe he kept getting open. It was insane.
It's because Stephon Diggs is so good.
I watched on
that last touchdown over the middle. They had 2 high safeties, and Davis ran to the middle of the field. Stephon Diggs ran a little sit route. He ran like a 10-yard hitch, and the safety jumped to double team, and that opened up Davis to be wide open in the end zone.
Wow.
It's just like he takes away so much that the defense has to like account for that if you just have a decent number 2, he's going to absolutely kill.
Wow.
Yeah. I think what we learned from this is what we learned when we played them at home this season is like, you don't want to go to overtime with them because they're going to win every coin flip and they're just going to go score. That's just the way it is. That's what they are known for doing. So
yeah.
I just feel bad for the Bills because
that's rough.
It was like 17 seconds left. I don't know why they didn't squib kick. That was kind of bizarre that they didn't do that.
Yeah.
To run some time off. But then you look at like the owners in the box and they're all like celebrating like it's like the best day of their lives. And then 17 seconds later, it's tied up again. It's just like I felt so bad for that.
It was
for that fan base. Like I feel bad for the Bills fans.
Yeah, that's 2 years in a row you lost to the Chiefs.
Sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it was those last 2 minutes were just a roller coaster of that game. And then, the coin toss. The coin toss sucks. I hate the coin toss with every fiber of my being.
That has to change. I feel like finally it happened in a playoff game and there's just so much attention on it.
Yeah.
It just has to change. Like your season can't be over because they won the coin toss and you never got the ball back.
Right.
You know, I saw a tweet that Keenan Allen actually put out there though, that was like, the coin toss isn't the game, it's the defense. Defense wins championship. If your defense can't get a stop, then you don't like game over. It's stop blaming the coin toss. You got to be able to get a stop.
Right.
But it does kind of suck because that happened to us.
Right. It did happen to us.
And after that Chiefs game, our whole season kind of went downhill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what Keenan Allen's saying, and on a level, I agree with him. But it's like that's at the end of the game when everybody's just like emptied their tank. Like they are gassed, they are done, and it's just like we got to go to another quarter, and they're struggling. It's hard. I can only imagine for a defense to still put up like a fight in that 5th quarter. What's essentially the 5th quarter of that game.
Yeah, and we have to mention one thing we have to mention about that game.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill is a douchebag with that peace sign and not getting a taunting call.
Unbelievable.
That's insane.
Yeah.
How do you I'm okay with it if we're gonna get rid of the taunting call, cool.
Yeah.
But the guy gave a peace sign at the 10-yard line and runs into the end zone holding it up.
Yeah.
That's the biggest flagrant taunting that there is.
Mm-hmm.
In a guy's face putting up a peace sign.
Yeah.
Come on, NFL, be better.
Right.
Yeah.
Be
Or
consistent.
Tyreek Hill be better.
It's fine if I honestly I like that because it got me fired up. Like, oh, come on, Bills, go take it back to him. It's like fun. Like as a competitor, you like that stuff because it's like, all right, you want to do that next time you come across the middle, you're gonna get your head taken off. You know, like that's fun. I like that competitiveness. But at the NFL, that's just so unbelievably inconsistent.
Right.
Why you call it for one team and not another? It's just come on, let's go. Let's get rid of the rule then. Let's just have fun and let the guys be football players.
Exactly.
Be athletes.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Almost honestly, if you want to flip it and take away the celebrations in the end zone after a touchdown, take
those are
that away and
ridiculous.
give back the letting them be just aggressive dudes that want to talk shit.
Yeah.
Right? Let that back into the game.
Right.
Please.
Yeah, the choreography in the end zone sucks.
I don't need any more of that shit. You can only see so many times people like toboggan racing. Like I've had enough.
Right.
So embarrassing.
Cut the shit.
There is no canoe, you mimes.
Yeah. Don't quit your day job.
Yeah, for real. All right. Well, the upcoming games, AFC Championship is going to be the Bengals and the Chiefs.
Oh God,
And
that's a
Come
shit sandwich. That's a shit sandwich. Nothing good comes from that. Honestly, I don't want to root for either one of them. But let's look at the outcomes, right? Let's just look at this. One of these two teams gets to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
We're going to be dealing with the Burrow Herbert comparison forever, right? Yep. And I don't mind it because compare whoever you want to Justin. That's fine. But it's going to be just non-stop. Like when we want to be talked about on ESPN, we want to be talked about on NFL Network. It'll be so biased now if he gets to the Super Bowl already. Yep. That's just the selfishness in me. I don't want to hear that shit.
I feel you.
Yeah.
If the Chiefs go, it's old news.
Right.
If the Bengals go, it's.
I do not want the Chiefs at 3 consecutive Super Bowls.
Yeah, me neither.
No, just no. I couldn't care less if you talk about Burrow Herbert comparison. That's great. Who cares? Like the Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers. We had that. It's just a reality. It's going to happen.
Right.
And if Burrow gets a Super Bowl, Justin, we got to get a Super Bowl. Like we got to do it.
Right.
You're not going to be in that level until you do it anyways.
Right.
So I don't really care about the Bengals. I hope the Bengals win.
Yeah. I hope the Bengals
They haven't been there.
You talk me into it. Fine. I switch.
They haven't been there in so long.
Right.
Like that they hadn't won a playoff game in 20 years until this year.
It was 88.
Yeah, so like let them go.
That's more than 20 years. That's 30.
That's 30 years. Yeah, let them go. Come on, let them go.
I mean, because it's just first they got to get there, then they got to win. So it's like just because they get there doesn't mean that they're automatically going to win. So yeah, I would root for the Bengals, and the NFC Championship is going to be the 49ers at the Rams.
At SoFi.
Yeah, kind of a
back-to-back SoFi
pre-Super Bowl game. Yeah.
Yep.
So
I don't know how I feel about this one, honestly. Like I kind of pulling for the Niners.
I like the Niner underdog.
Same answer as the previous one.
Yeah.
I just don't want to hear it.
I feel it more in this game because it's because we have to share the stadium. So it's going to be a constant back and forth. And we got to play them next year when Chargers are going to be the home team in SoFi Stadium. So
and it's the whole fight for LA thing. Like the bandwagoners will go.
Absolutely.
If the Rams get to the Super Bowl, the bandwagoners are going to be out of control, which it's okay. Like again,
they're bandwagoners.
Chargers, there's nothing we can do.
Right.
I don't want bandwagon fans because they're usually whiny and negative and ready to jump ship as soon as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But I just don't want to, like Kevin has brought up, like the media stuff. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I just don't want to hear about how many this is a Rams town. Like I just don't like hearing that. It sucks.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah. And 49ers, I think are definitely the underdog, so I'd be rooting for them regardless.
They are hard
as
can be right now.
Yeah.
And they got a Bosa.
They do
root for a Bosa.
Oh, there you go.
I wonder if Joey will be at the game.
I'm sure he will.
I'm sure
gonna
he
root
will
on
be.
his little bro.
Gotta be.
If you were in the Super Bowl, I'd come and root you on.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
I like how you said that. All right, and then looking over at Twitter, Arash Markazi tweeted
Fugazi.
Hey, I tried my best. tweeted out the cheapest current ticket for Sunday's NFC Championship game between the Rams and the 49ers at SoFi Stadium is over $600. One ticket broker just told me it's going to be a sea of red again. Rams fans are growing, but they aren't paying $600 for nosebleed tickets. Not happening.
Do you want to hear something crazy? I looked up our section.
Yeah.
If we're the same situation, each one of our tickets is $1,200.
Just
each
to
one
go.
of them. And just the 300 level section, it's
not for us
$1,200.
as season ticket holders. We get ticket price.
No. I just mean like if we
But
wanted
that
to,
would be the resale value.
that would be the resale value on these seats. So it's like we're gonna find out pretty quick how intense the Rams fans are, because I have a strong feeling they're not getting the home game.
Yeah, those season ticket holders are selling those puppies and watching it home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then after Sunday night's game of the Bills and Chiefs, Ellenbert Breer tweeted out, if I'm any AFC team other than the Bengals or Chargers watching this, I'm seriously evaluating where I'm at quarterback for the next decade. Which is true. I mean, yeah, the Chargers and the Bengals were good in our quarterback situation. Just about everybody else,
not so much.
Might want to.
Well, they might be
a situation,
but they're not competitive.
I don't get it. I don't get that tweet. What about?
Well, they're looking at two AFC,
Josh Allen.
Yeah, and they're saying you're watching this game. You're watching this amazing quarterback play.
Outside of the Chiefs, that was watching the Chiefs.
Outside of Burrow and Herbert, if you have a quarterback in the AFC, you should be
those
concerned.
Four are in a different.
Those are the
different
tier,
top level,
for sure. Agree.
So, yeah, it's
hopefully that'd be cool next offseason if the four of them were playing in playoff games. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Well, if we can get things shipped up and fixed in the off season, then
I'm very confident.
I think we could absolutely see that. Yes.
Very confident.
And if you want to see something cool, go to chargerchat.com. Check out some of the merch that we've got over there. We've got sweet t-shirts and hoodies and stickers and all that good stuff. And we've got our member site. Oh, there you go. Kevin Supermaning it over there. We've also got the member section where you can chat it up with other Competitears and ask questions like an Ask Boltfam that we'll have later on this episode. But now it is time to go on to Bolt Insight, and it may or may not be a Charger player.
It definitely is Breiden Fehoko.
Let's go to the
Fehokosode.
That's right. Fehokosode Part 2 coming in hot.
Yeah.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with another Bolt Insight, and we are super, super pumped to have the one and only Breiden Fehoko. What is going on, Breiden?
Man, nothing much, brother. I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad we could do part 2, and it's always a pleasure coming on the show.
We love it. You're a fan favorite, man. Everyone, all you do on social media and Twitter and everything, everyone just loves you. So everyone's been asking like, get Breiden. I'm like, I will. I'm trying. He's working right now.
Here. It's finally here.
He's working now. We can try to get him. So how's it going, man? How's it? How are you feeling after such a long season?
Dude, man, it's positive and negative. Negative that we kind of didn't wish for the outcome we wanted after the Raiders game. We wish we could have been in the playoffs. But positive to where such a big step from year 1 to year 2 for myself, and was so glad to take the necessary process that was required in order for me to perform the way I did. And it was just so great that I had great coaches around me and great players and great teammates to lean on. And it really helped me get through, my sophomore year with the Chargers, and I'm looking forward to what year 3 brings.
Yeah, I was excited. It was really fun to watch you play, and you really came on late. Like that Texans game, you were playing out of control. So it was fun. It was fun to watch you play. You were kind of talked a little bit about the coaches. It was Coach Staley's first year with the Chargers, and he definitely, got us fired up watching all his social media posts. Like, we're what did he say? He said, "Watch out, we're coming." Like you were coming. Like he just said stuff that was like, "Whoa, Coach!"
Yeah.
So like, what was it like in the locker room with him? What was it like having Coach Staley in his first year as a head coach with the Chargers?
Man, the mentality I got the whole year was just like, man, we're not backing down from nobody. It kind of reminded me of my days at LSU, where we just kind of had that mentality, like we're coming. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't matter what happened years prior, or what was the identity of this team leading up to this year, but every game we took this year, even the games we lost, we always felt like we were the better team. And that's how you should feel in sports. You should always respect your opponent, but we had a confidence level because we were well prepared. We knew we were going to be the smarter team. We knew we worked harder. And sometimes things just don't go your way in sports. That's how they are. That's how the dice roll. But so awesome to learn from a great coach, a great young coach, and Coach Staley and the staff he's put together. I know that, like I said earlier, it didn't end the way we wanted it to. But, I mean, you look at where we're projected to in year 3 and in year 4, in years to come. I'm excited about this team and how far we can take it in the years to come.
That's awesome. And, it was an interesting year because, it's odd being a Charger fan because sometimes the media will talk about, we want to hear the media talk about our team all the time. We want to get excited. And it was like, it felt like they were all being so lazy this year. And like all they could say, great team, run defense. Like they just wouldn't stop talking about the defense. Like, did you guys feel any of that from the outside in? Was there any kind of added pressure or anything with, the media or like what people were saying about us?
Yeah, one thing that as players and as just in general, whatever level of sports you play, whether it's high school, college, or NFL, the media is going to do a job. They have a job to do. They have to write stories. They have to create headlines. And that's what they're paid to do. Just like we're paid to play a sport and we're paid to do it at a high level. And just throughout the year, we had injuries, we had COVID. And so there was never a time where we were just a consistent defensive starting 11 or front 7 where we had the same consistency throughout the whole year of just the same players every game. Like I don't know what the stat was, but I remember Coach Staley talking to us before team meeting, and it was like, we haven't played, like there was a certain amount of snaps the real starting 11 had played together, and the front 7, there's a starting amount of snaps they had played together. And so everybody was trying to fit molds this year, trying to kind of adjust on the fly, because in 2 seasons with COVID and the way the NFL has been, you have to learn how to adjust on the fly. Things can switch the day before the game. I mean, my first 2 practice squad elevations were the day before the game. I found out I was playing against the Las Vegas Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. And things like that, you just don't prepare for because, well, I'm not going to say you don't prepare. You prepare for it, but mentally, you don't think of it happening in that fast of a matter where, oh, geez, like I was on practice squad doing scout team the whole week. Boom, I'm playing tomorrow. And that's kind of like the ongoing mantra of what's happening in the NFL. And as it relates to run defense, we came from a 4-3 scheme last year where it was attack, get up the field, try to go create havoc in the backfield. But there's pros and cons to each thing, right? And what that does in a 4-3 defense is allows your D-line to get more aggressive, but you leave your linebackers in a bind because say you have a D lineman who he gets in the backfield, he doesn't make the play. Now you trade 1 for 1 with offensive linemen, and now that one offensive lineman that you let off because you penetrated is now blocking the linebacker. Whereas in a 3-4, you're kind of more protected up front. You're not as aggressive. As a defensive line, you'd like to be aggressive. You'd like to make negative plays, which you still can. There's still opportunities, but you have to be more fundamentally sound in your technique. Now we're 3 guys covering 5 gaps, and you have to protect your linebackers. 5-man boxes. Sometimes it can get a little tricky, so you have to do more dirty work in a 3-4. And those things having to adjust to that, just having to adjust to the identity of our new defense, I felt like after the bye week, we kind of honed into that, and we kind of knew like, okay, this is how it's supposed to look. Now we kind of got the whole gist of how to do it. And I think after the bye week, I mean, you look at the stats, rewind from week 1 to week 6, whenever our bye week was. And then after the bye week, we were a top 15 run defense after that. And so I think the ceiling is very high, and I think we're moving in the right direction.
So what do you think, just as a fan on the outside, like, what do you think we're always like, what's going to happen next year? What are we going to do? Everyone and their mom is like arguing, like, what, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Like, in your mind, what is like the most simple fix to go from where, we were as a whole to where we can be next year?
I think whenever you have, a new system in play, new coaches, new players, everybody thinks like, let's go, new blood's in town, instant win. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen overnight. I rewind back to my days at LSU and Coach O first took over. We lost to Troy on homecoming night.
That's right.
It wasn't all 15-0 pretty LSU national champion. Our first year at the helm, it was bad. Next year we played in the New Year's Six Bowl, and in year 3 we won a national championship. And I know it's been a while since like fans have, we need, more winning season. We had a winning season this year. It just wasn't good enough to go to the playoffs. That's what fans don't realize.
Yeah.
And in the NFL, games are won and lost by a possession or less. I think where we're at as a team, where we finished this year, is leading us to bigger and better things in the future. We would love to win a Super Bowl. That's always the goal in mind, right? But say we went 9-8 this year, 13-4 next year, 14-3 the year prior, 15-2. You're making steps, right? You don't want to go like this, come back down. You kind of just want to go like this. That's how you have a good winning team, is how you develop consistency. And I'm excited. That's part of the reason of growing pains is you have to find a foundation. You have to start from somewhere. You can't just throw somebody into the fire and expect them to just come out spotless. It doesn't work like that. And like I've reiterated, to you and to many others, I'm excited to work with this team. I know Coach Staley is, and I know, Ronaldo Hill and Coach Giff with the D-line. They're excited to get their hands on us in year 2, because that project of year 1, just trying to develop the foundation, develop the base, it's growing pains. It's not going to look perfect, right? But what you do is you go through those growing pains, like breaking in a shoe. The first week you wear it, it's going to be painful. Like it's something you want, right? The shoe looks good, but inside it's like, I got to keep wearing it. I got to keep breaking it. That's what a defense is. The defense looks nice, but within the defense, you have to fine tune it. You have to keep practicing. You have to keep breaking it in. And in year 2, you only can expect us to do this. I'll put a lot of money on that.
I love it. I love to hear that. And, to jump on the other side of the ball, like, as a fan, it was wild seeing this offense and Justin Herbert go for it on 4th down, like all the time. Like, Coach Staley and just the balls to the wall mentality. Like, what was it like for you as a player when you're on defense and you're seeing, you're getting ready to go back out on the field and coach is like, nope, let's go, stay out there, let's go. Like, what was that like for you?
It shows how much trust he has in the defense. Like I said, media has a certain job that they have to write about. You have to, produce topics, produce headlines. When a coach like Coach Staley has our back and says, we're going to go for it on 4th down in our own territory.
Yeah.
Everybody from the outside looking in is like, what is this guy doing? Right. Us on the field is like, man, let's go. We're here to win this game. We're not here to play consistency. We're not here to play for a tie. We're not here to play for second place. If you're not winning in sports, then you're coming in second and nobody remembers second place.
Yeah.
He looks at us on the sideline. He's like, hey, we don't get this. Go out there and get a stop. And we didn't get it. We ran an inside zone play with Austin, got cut short. I mean, it's football. Things happen. Came out there. They held the Raiders to a field goal on the 20. The Raiders are a good offense. When they get going, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, number 7, Foster Morrow, those guys, Josh Jacobs, when they get going, they're a good offense. They'll score. I mean, they did against Cincinnati. We got out there, held them to a field goal. That's just how much trust he has in us, So we can do it. We've shown we can do it. And our coach believes in us that we can do it. And we have the recipe. And now it's just all about executing it.
No, absolutely. And that game, it was very interesting in terms of the 4th down and not just that one right there, but at the very end, like we didn't have any choices, but seeing that offense and Justin Herbert drive down the field to go into overtime, like I was losing my mind. You were on the field watching that, right in front of you. Like, what was that like?
I'm witnessing greatness. When it was happening, you're just like, man, I'm dreaming right now. Justin is such a great player that it's tough that we lose the games we do, because it just takes away from how great he is as a player. And he's the first guy that'll be in the locker room after a win and after a loss. After a win, he never wants to take the credit. He's always dishing it out to his teammates. He's giving it to the receivers, giving it to the running back. Hey, the defense got to be turnovers today. After a loss, he's the last guy of that locker room. He's taking the blame. And, mostly after every loss this year, everybody's like gone out the locker room, right? Like changed, see their families. Justin's just still sitting in his pads in front of his locker, just thinking about how he could have done better. And he takes it the hardest. And that's why when I see him on those drives, that fourth down play, and his energy and his passion, his drive to just go and win for this team, you understand the sacrifice he puts in week out, the dedication to film, the dedication to practice and his craft. When he went on that 4th and 23 to Josh Palmer, and then on that final play to Mike Williams, and even on the 2-point conversion to Eck.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, man, you got a war daddy with you. You got a guy that is going to be, knock on wood, Jay Herb says health. You got a guy that's going to be here for a decade, and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And he's going to go to war every week. There's never a week where Justin Herbert is just going to lay down and, hey, we're going to run the ball 30 times and Justin Herbert's going to be a non-factor. No, he is going to find a way to wheel and deal us in the game.
Yeah, it's so exciting as a Charger fan, and it's cool to hear your excitement for that, because I'm sure that just the locker room rallies around that, and it's just exciting to see. And now that the season's over, like I'm always curious, like what is it like for you as a player? Because I'd imagine your life is scheduled to a T. You do this, you do this, you do this for months, and now you don't have that. Like, what is that immediately? Like, all right, off season. Like, what is that like for you switching into that mode, and what are you doing?
It's different, right? So we go from like 9-12-hour days. Sometimes we're there from 6, and then we don't leave the facility till 6 or 7 o'clock at night. So 12-hour days. And now it's like, all right, wake up. All right, let me go take the dog on a walk. Like, geez, I got time to sit down. Like, it just feels a little weird. Like the first week off last week when I'm back home, it's like I feel like I should be doing something right now. Like I sat on the couch and I was just binge watching Netflix, and I was like, I don't know, this doesn't feel right, Yeah. And then you kind of go through that phase of the first week of the off season, and then you start to get your off season schedule back intact. Okay, I'll wake up. I'm not the type of guy that likes to. I'm a 4:30 a.m. grinder.
Yeah,
5 a.m. I like to get my rest. I like to get my full 8-10 hours, especially in the off season when you need your body to recover the most. I like to go wake up, cook me some breakfast, and then I'll come and stretch out. I'll roll out, get in my Normatex, my recovery stuff. And then I'll start to ease into my workout. I'll go outside. I just built the gym in my garage. And so I'll go outside, kind of get my legs loose, do our activation stuff that, Anthony Lamondo, our strength coach at the Chargers, he kind of has a program written for us. Get to my warm-up, upper body, lower body, do my explosive work, and then I'll hop in the sauna. I have a sauna as well. And then after that, it's kind of just smooth sailing for the rest of the day. I take a break from football, so I probably won't watch football like film-wise of like myself and of things to watch from the season. Probably won't start tapping into it until maybe March-ish, April-ish, right before we go back to OTAs and stuff, just because I want to just decompress all of that and just kind of flush it out of my system. Because once you get back into football and the groove of things, it's one after the other, and it's continuous until the season's done. So right now, my focus is just on my family, my dog, just my body, getting everything back to where it is, and just, having a good state of mind in the off season.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we hope you recover and feel, back to where you were before the season started. And wanted to jump over to another, just something totally different. Like we follow your pops on Instagram and like we were like all year long, basically during the season, he's just got videos of him just working out, just getting bigger. And then we saw him at the Hula Bowl. He was Billy the Warrior rocking out at the Hula Bowl. So what was that like to see your pops do that?
Dude, that's his domain, man. Like me on first and second down against a run play, that's my domain. That's his domain. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
him being Vila the Warrior is like gives him a new like amount of energy that you can't just like. It's not earthly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just brings so much joy. When he did it for the University of Hawaii under June Jones and Coach Greg McMackin, Norm Chow, those years. It was so awesome to see because that's how I grew up with my dad. I grew up seeing him as Billy the Warrior. I grew up seeing him as a professional entertainer in the tourism business in Hawaii, working at the Polynesian Culture Center, the University of Hawaii Warrior, and then he was always doing Polynesian shows, luau's around the island. To see him, my dad's going to kill me. I think my dad's 55. To see him doing that at that age, being able to move around, being able to lift, being able to just have joy, jump, run around. It's so awesome to see because sometimes we take for granted like our parents, and
100%.
they're not getting any younger. And especially with my dad and my mom, being away from me from college and the NFL, I don't get to see them as much as I'd love to. Whenever I get to see them happy with a smile on their face, doing what they do best, that lets me know like, man, like life is going good for me. It's not about how much money I have in my bank account, or it's not about how big my house is or what kind of shoes I'm wearing. It's about if my family's smiling at the end of the day, I get to come home. I get to talk to them. I get to talk to my brothers. I get to see my dog. Things like that just makes me happy. That's what keeps me going and keeps me motivated is like, all right, I got to see Dad at the Hula Bowl rocking out. And the best part about it is he got to see some players that I played with.
Oh, cool.
Jamal Pettigrew, tight end at McNeese State, played with him at LSU. Liam Shanahan was at LSU center, transfer from Harvard. Mackenzie Milton, Hawaii boy quarterback, played at UCF, transfer to Florida State. So, my parents getting to see those guys. Those guys are, they know my parents and stuff, and they're excited. It was really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, we love following him, dude. He's so much fun on Instagram.
He's a joy.
He's a notification whenever he posts something. I'm like, all right, what's Billy doing today? Let's go.
He handles the Instagram. I handle the Twitter part of our family.
I love it. Yeah. Well, this is a perfect segue. I saw it this morning. You tweeted, I'm headed to Costco today. Might boo the cash register employee just to see what it feels like to criticize someone while they're at work. My last question for you. What's the craziest thing someone's ever said to you as a player? College, pros, what's the craziest thing someone said to you?
Yeah. So, we're playing Philly this year. And the Eagles fans are just rowdy, right? And I wasn't dressed for that game. I was still in the practice squad. And I was on the sideline. And one guy was like, hey, Fehoko. He's like, hey, Mr. Haka. And I looked back. And, this is like pregame and stuff. And he's like, you're a bum. Like, I'll appreciate it. I'm like, I'll appreciate it, man. He's like, you're a bum. And then, like, we're walking off the field. He's like, you're not like, he's just mouthing off. And like, we're walking off, going back into the locker room right before, we go in after stretch, come back out, the game's going on, and he's still mouthing. He's just like mouthing off words, mouthing off this and this. And then I'm standing next to Tai Long. And like, the great thing about specialists and Tai Long and like other specialist players is specialists love to talk trash. Like, yeah. And so the whole game, Ty is in the corner, like by the punt net, and he's just like mouthing right back to this dude. And the guy's like, I know how much money you make. Like, you're a bum. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, I didn't know like a 6-digit salary makes you a bum. So. And his wife was like standing right there. His wife was his girlfriend. And she was like ashamed. She was like, I'm so sorry.
Oh, God.
And so Dustin Hopkins kicks the game-winning field goal. And like it was going towards that end, and he was standing right there, and like it's on our side of the field. As soon as we kick the field goal, JJ turns around and JJ goes, he starts waving, and we all just start waving at him, and he's like sticking fingers at us. And Ty runs off to the field, and Ty's like, "Hey, see you, buddy." It's like karma at its finest. Like the whole game, he was just like totally derogatory towards me. And then as soon as D-Hop kicked that field goal, like it was so funny. JJ waved him off. Jerry waved him off, and like Ty ran off the field to like say goodbye to him and stuff. And I was like, "Enjoy the ride home, man." Like, GG's.
That's so crazy. Like and then you see like playoff games. You see like there was a reaction video to a Cowboy fan punching his TV, knocking it over, and shooting it with a gun. Like, whoa, God! I thought I was an intense fan. Calm down,
man. It's not that it's not that serious. Like,
yeah. And
I really think after losses. Right. Like, don't get me wrong, players, we take it really hard. Like we take it personal, but after you lose a game, there's nothing you can do until you play the next Sunday that the only way you can fix something.
Sure.
And like, it just kills us in a funny way that fans take it so hard, and personal to the fact that like fans will start bringing up family and fans start bringing up like certain other things. And it's like, like relax. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like I understand, like you put your heart and soul into the team. We didn't get a win. That's sports. You're going to have a winner. You're going to have a loser. When we win, you got to think that the other side is feeling the same way. There's two sides. There's never two winners. And that's the great thing about sports though. The competition and the pride aspect about it. Like I said, it can be very sorrowful to the inside, but when you win, you win. It's the greatest feeling in the world. And when you lose, it's like, oh man, but there's a way to do it. There's a way of respect and respecting your team. And it goes both ways. I think fans need to respect players more and players need to respect fans from a perspective of, all right, we can do it. Let's bounce back. Let's go get a win back in the win column instead of trash talking each other. And it's a way to do it. But that's sports though,
Yeah. Well, we respect you. We appreciate everything you've done for us this year. It was amazing watching you guys play. I wish it would have gone further, but we're already on to next year. We're ready to go with you guys. So we really appreciate you, Breiden, and really appreciate your time.
Always. Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me. Always a blast coming on.
Absolutely. I'm going to hit you up for episode Trace.
Damn.
So it's
I love
soon.
that, man.
Let's do it, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
It's just like an all-time interview. Like,
it's just great insight to
the information that he's able to provide and the clearness of how he communicates.
Right.
He's gonna be an outstanding coach one day. When he's done playing, the way that he can communicate things is what you look for in a coach. Even when he gave his little rundown about going from a 4-3 to a 3-4.
Right. I figured that
just
would
like the little
really pique your
stuff.
interest.
It's like he can communicate so clearly that anyone can understand what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I did a fantastic job, but then I'm realizing watching it back that really I didn't do much. He's just extremely well spoken and knows his shit, and I love having him on and hope to do it again soon.
Well, you did some serious, you set it up and he knocks it down. So that's the sign of a good interview, I think. So you did just fine.
Man. And Billy just
I love Billy, man.
Awesome. He's the best. Go follow him on Instagram if you're on
Go give
Instagram.
both of those guys some love. Breiden for coming on our little Dink and Dunk show twice now. It's awesome. Hey, it's so cool. So go give Breiden some love for sure on Twitter.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's great having him on, and Billy is amazing. I love the fact that there are fathers of some of these players that are on Twitter, like Reggie Slater and Billy the Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Are there other like parents? I know Austin Eckler's mom's on there. Suzanne. Is there other? There's got to be other like Twitter parents out there.
I haven't really seen much besides that. I did see Reggie posted a picture of him standing with Justin's dad. I did see a picture of that, which was awesome. I haven't really seen too much more on Twitter. But.
Well, if there's other family members of Charger players out there that we aren't aware of, let us know down in the comments.
We'll interview him for sure.
Oh yeah, Kevin will reach out to him. Toot sweet. So thank you again, Breiden, for coming on.
Thanks, dude.
And it's just an awesome interview, dude. Thank you for all of that. That is just such a treat for us to have on this show.
Enjoy your off season.
And absolutely enjoy your off season. Walk that dog. All right. The dog's not going to walk itself.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now let's go on to the next segment. It is Fan Focus. Let's see what fan we've got to bring into focus this week.
All right, guys, we're back with another Fan Focus, and we're super pumped to have Mariah from San Diego. What is going on?
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. We're super excited to chat with you and get to know a little bit more about you. So kick us off. How'd you become a Charger fan?
Yeah, well, my dad grew up in San Diego since 1940. So I was basically born a Charger fan, and I grew up rooting for them. I didn't really take the time to actually learn about football until college, though. And I met my now husband, who's also from San Diego. So it was really just inevitable that I was going to be a Charger fan for life. Yeah, I had a ton of fun rooting for them in college and watching games. And, I remember coming down to San Diego and watching that awful Jets 2009 game at a bar in Pacific Beach.
Yeah, I was at that game. It was heartbreaking.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! Yeah, glad I was just at a bar and not there. But.
Yeah, right.
And then after that, I actually moved up to Oakland, enemy territory. I know. So then just watching the games was really just a tie back to home, tie to San Diego, tie to my dad. We would have a ton of fun going and watching games. There's this awesome Charger bar in San Francisco. It's called Danny Coyle's, RIP. But they would play like the San Diego Supercharger song after every touchdown and just like build these towers of Tecate. So awesome. Super fun. I know. Yes. Then we'd come back home and watch games at Qualcomm and go with our best friends and tailgate and like bring our whole families there and everything, and just had a blast. It was so much fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's crazy because when I moved out, I live in Missouri now, but when I moved out here, I became a bigger fan because I was like surrounded by the opposing team, like surrounded by Chiefs. You were surrounded by Raiders. That must have been interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It was fun because we obviously had a lot of Raider friends. So going to the games and or going over to their house, or they were coming to our house, and just like watching the games was fun. A lot of good shit talking,
Yeah, I love it. So did you, we ran into each other briefly at a SoFi game, didn't we?
We did. Yeah. The Vikings game. I'm pretty sure I yelled your name at you.
Yeah, I was like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
So what was your experience like, going to Charger games at SoFi?
Yeah, that was the first one I've been to. It was really fun. Thunder Alley was just incredible. It was so much fun. I'm already so pumped to go back to another one. I mean, I definitely did a lot of tailgating at Qualcomm, but I do feel like Thunder Alley is something special. It's just like so much energy and just a ton of fun.
It's funny, it's really funny because I watched a video the other day where it was the Rams have their version of what we do. And dude, was it lame. It was so lame. Did you see that video? I was like, maybe not. No, not quite. You try your best. We'll give you a participation trophy on that one.
Right. It looks kind of like the reject version, like the knockoff version of Thunder Alley. Yeah.
100%. So, where the season's over and it sucks, feels very premature, but like, what were some of the things you took away from the season that really got you extra excited about being a Charger fan?
Yeah, man. I mean, so, when they first moved, it definitely sucked. I missed them being in San Diego, had a ton of people around me who kind of stepped away from being fans. So I didn't stop being a fan, but I did pull back a little bit, just not having that all around.
Sure.
But like now I live in San Diego, actually. I live like 5 minutes away from Qualcomm, RIP. Yeah. I kind of decided like, screw this. Like, I love being a fan. I love this team. It's my team. It's not just about the city. Justin Herbert is so exciting to watch. This year was just incredible. I'm so pumped for next year. I think, Justin Herbert is just an elite quarterback, and I can't wait to see what they do once we have a better run defense around us, hopefully. Yep. Better right tackle. I think there's a lot of improvements to be made, but I just feel so optimistic and so positive about what's in the future. So I think that's just was the most exciting thing is kind of seeing the potential that we have right now.
For sure. When it's like, especially from year 1 to year 2, you're seeing improvement. So it's like, he got 2 more wins and he's going to get how many more next year? How many year after that? So it's like this increment. We feel like we're at the beginning of this really awesome thing that's about to bloom. You know what I mean? It's got that energy.
Yeah. It was easy to get really excited about the Chargers again after kind of taking a step back, just like watching. Yeah, exactly. There's just so much potential just boiling, waiting to bubble over, you know?
No, for sure. And you know, you being in San Diego, you know, because a lot of people listening to this are down there. Where do you go to watch games? Do you ever go? Do you guys have any sports bars or anything you guys go to?
Yeah. So actually this year I did go and watch games with Diehard Bolt Club San Diego a couple of times. They were kind of set up at Dirty Birds in Ocean Beach. And that's so much fun. If you can't go to a game at SoFi, just going and being surrounded by Charger fans is a blast. And there's still a lot of us here in San Diego, you know. I see like cars with the Bolt on it, and I see people walking around in jerseys, and it's exciting to kind of see fans kind of start to come out of the woodwork again.
Yeah, it's exciting. And it's only up from here, in my opinion. I think it's just such an exciting time to be a Charger fan. And let's just hope that Kansas City doesn't win another Super Bowl, because that's all I really care about the next couple weeks. So let's just hope that everything kind of calms down for us.
Same. Yeah. It's kind of, lose a little bit in the Super Bowl. I'm rooting for the 49ers. So
honestly, I was thinking about that too. I was like, it'd be easier for me to go 49ers. I don't know if I can go Bengals because I'm worried about Burrow getting it before Justin. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to hear people talk shit on, because it's like it's just narrative fuel that they're just gonna I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm just not ready.
I feel like that's the Rams and the Bengals. It's like I don't want Burrow before Herbert, and I don't want the Rams before the Chargers. So go Niners in my book.
I'm with you. Same page. So thank you so much for coming on. It was so great meeting you. And hopefully I'll get to yell at you at a SoFi game next time we're there.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, hey, Mariah, thank you for coming on and chatting with Kev. That is just awesome. I love hearing all the different stories and everything that the different fans bring to the table, how they got into it, you know, how they handled the move. And Justin seems to be really just that magnet that's pulling people back in. Yeah. Getting everybody back into it. So, and good to know about the Dirty Birds with the Die Hard Bolt Club. Like, that sounds like a really fun time. As far as
definitely go do that.
Yeah, go check it out next year.
There you go.
Show.
All right. Well, thank you again, Mariah, for coming on.
Thanks,
really
Mariah.
appreciate you coming in and chatting with Kev. And now it's time to go on to the next segment. It is Ask Boltfam. Here we go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do.
I wet myself in excitement. Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated. Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy. All right, gang. Well, let's start this Ask Boltfam off. This guy asked a question last week, and he just barely missed it, but it's still relevant. It's still a relevant question this week, so I want to squeeze it in. It's Gasman from the ChargerChat.com site. He asked a question on there, and I think it still stands. Let's go for it.
Call me vindictive, but seeing Derek Carr's stupid face as his first postseason game comes to an end with an interception, so sweet. All those Raider Nation dickholes can go cry into the river of misery that their playoff hopes just sailed off on. I don't want to hear shit about refs deciding outcome of games. Anyway, suppose I should actually ask a question here. With all this talk of cap space and free agency acquisition, my question is this. How much does team cohesion have into play? I'm afraid of letting go of a guy that really holds the team together, or even worse, bringing in a toxic douche that tears it apart. Damn, that was a lot. I'm going to stop now. K, love you, bye.
All right. Well, great question. I think Kyle probably has more insight to something about this than any of us. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, this is an awesome question. I love this because it's not like in a specific who do you bring in.
Right.
Because just looking at the field, you don't get the whole picture of who a person is. And from what we've seen from Tommy T, this is huge with how he decides who to bring in and put on a team. It's all about locker room. I mean, most of the guys that we draft were captains at Notre Dame, pretty much. So, like, he's very much a big character guy. You don't hear about our team in the headlines. We're not the Raiders. I guess is my point. It's like, yeah, we lose some football games here and there, but it's not going to be because a guy went and did something stupid on the weekend after the game. And or you don't hear about drama in the locker room, like especially with what we heard from Fehoko early in this episode. Those guys seemed like they love each other. So even if guys move on, I think that you still bring guys in with the same character, just if they have a little bit of a different ability to fit the scheme better. I think that's what it comes down to.
Right.
And I think it's interesting, like what, I was when we talked to Hannick Milligan, when we did an interview with him, we were talking a little bit after the interview, and he was talking about specifically like the Las Vegas thing and like the fact that some teams where you are is really important. And he said like having a team in Las Vegas and the players have access to all this stuff, unless you have good character people, you're going to see this problem continually happen.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, it's really about the character. It's really about, are these people going to take it as seriously as they can, or they make it to the NFL, they're getting their money, they're just playing the game, and they're just going to make mistakes. So so far so good. Telesco's drafting guys that definitely are character guys. We haven't seen anything off the field that is concerning.
Right. In your experience, Kyle, have you ever had a player that you've had to coach that has just been an utter turd, like just a crappy, like, God,
Crap
I hate
sandwich.
this kid. Like, why is he even here?
Yeah, quite a few. Like,
really? Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna name names.
No, for
but
sure.
Yeah, there's definitely some.
Do it. No, just kidding.
There's guys on the team that, and I coach high school kids.
Right.
It's like
bunch of assholes.
So they're a bunch of assholes.
I don't. Yeah. And I don't get to recruit. I don't get to recruit like the kids just show up. If they go to your school and they want to play football, they show up. So it's probably more relevant to high school teams than to college or NFL teams, because they get to pick who they have on their team.
Right.
But yeah, it is a really big deal. Like it can absolutely be a poison to your team if your best athlete is just kind of a douche that doesn't care about anybody else and only cares about his stats, and that's all that he's really playing for is to try to get a scholarship somewhere. It's a poison for a team for sure, especially in those game-winning, late in the game type of moments.
All right. Well, there you go, Gas Man. We got you in a week late, but I love that question. I think it was a very good question. So thank you for asking it. Let's move it on now to Blonded Surfer, who asked the question.
Both teams got one drive. Team A scores a TD, cool. Team B gets a chance to tie. They tie, perfect. Now the team that scores next wins. No question here. Literally just adopt college football's overtime rules. Plus, it'll make the NFL money extending elite football plays like we saw tonight. Thoughts?
I don't know. I've not talked to one person that doesn't agree with this.
Right.
I've not talked to one person that's like, yeah, the overtime rules are great in the NFL.
I mean, you might ask a Chiefs fan and they might be like, yeah, no, it's been working fine for us. What? I mean, what's the problem?
What's crazy on that? Last year during the meeting, they brought this topic up. The only team that mentioned they wanted to address and change the rules to this were the Chiefs.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
The Chiefs were the only, and they tabled it and they didn't talk about it again. They were the only team. And the following year, the team that wanted it changed is the team that is totally benefiting
so
from
much,
not changing.
Right. Yeah.
I don't understand how if you kick a field goal, then the other team gets a chance. But if you score a touchdown, it's game over. The logic's not there. I don't get it.
And I think that's really just the big thing. It's just like the scoring the touchdown ends it. Like the other team just should still have a chance to go out there and try to win it.
Score a touchdown.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, hey, we're with you, Blonded Surfer. I think 99% of the world is probably with you on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I have never talked to someone that doesn't think that they should go to the college rules.
I think out of all the games that we saw this weekend, like all of them were extremely exciting.
Yeah.
But for that game to end like that, it was just kind of a fart. It was just like, all right.
Yeah,
well,
Yeah, you walk out of the theater not really wanting to recommend that to your friends.
Yeah,
but you had a great time.
Right.
Yeah, with the NFL being like it's such an offensive focused, all the penalties that can go against the defense, they're trying to get teams to score touchdowns. So then to have an overtime that says if you do what we ask you to do, game's over. It's like, or like do what we've made so easy to do nowadays. It's like that's game over. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Then take away pass interferences.
Dude, what if overtime they got rid of all penalties?
Yeah.
And it's jailhouse rules.
No, just take away pass interference and like
I
defensive
think
holding.
that's a fun idea.
All right.
They start bringing out like chains. It's overtime, bitches.
Oh, that'd be intense.
There we go. All right, Blonded Surfer, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Bobby Caldrone, who asked the question.
Chicago way.
The NFL overtime rules are so dumb, and I think we all know a few ways to make them more sensible. However, I want to know your guys' proposals for how to make the overtime rules even worse. What would you add to make it even more infuriating? I love this.
Worse?
I think this is fun. Yeah. How could you screw it up even more?
Even worse.
Obviously, you make it if a field goal ends it, like it used to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a field goal would end it. That would make it.
Whoever
really,
goes
really
the
crappy.
furthest, if you don't score a field goal, whoever gets the most yardage wins.
Yeah.
We could do
Or
rock,
getting-
paper, instead of a coin toss, rock, paper, scissors.
No, that would be way more fun.
I guess you're right.
Dude, rock, paper, scissors is so exciting. And they actually get a say in what's happening.
That's
Best
true.
of 3, too.
Yeah,
that'd
best
be
of 3,
good.
rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh,
should just
can you
be-
imagine the characters they would send out? You'd get like a long snapper, first a punter, and rock, paper, scissors. That'd be good.
It's like all season long they're playing ping pong and they're competing all season long, rock, paper, scissors to get ready for those
Yeah.
OT games.
Yeah, what if there's a segment in your practice schedule once a week where everyone plays rock, paper, scissors? Whoever wins that tournament gets to be the guy in case of overtime.
What
It's pretty
happens?
fun.
What happens if it's a practice squad player that is the best rock,
Gotta
paper,
activate
scissors
him.
player?
Gotta
activate that
activate
ass.
Yep. 53rd man right there.
Shit, dude knows how to play rock, paper, scissors. Shoot.
Well-
Sorry, Gabe. You're back to the practice squad.
He's really good.
Well, I think we're thinking of all the ways we can make it better. We
I can't help it. Yeah, that's funny.
Honestly, it's hard to make it much worse, except for making it like
Yes, it really
making
is.
it a field goal ends it is a way to make it the only way to make it worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every other way would just be at
More
least
fun.
more entertaining.
I'm trying to think of ways to make it more fun. I have some ideas.
You can only use one hand.
It turns powder puff, and the cheerleaders get to play.
Get flag football.
Quarterback doesn't get to wear a helmet.
Yeah, you have to. You have to like bench 5 of your starters, and they can't play in overtime.
Yeah, yeah,
Each play, you lose one guy.
yeah, yeah. What if it's like hockey where you take off like 3 players?
Oh yeah,
a penalty box.
7 on
penalty
7.
kill.
Yeah.
Totally.
These are all
quarterback
all
has
better.
to throw with
I
the
know, these are
opposite
all, like,
hand.
Yeah.
They make it harder, but it would be way more entertaining to
Yeah,
watch.
QB
so-
throws lefty.
You have to
that'd
go
be good.
lefty. You have to go lefty. Just a lot
Or
of just
everyone hops. Everyone can only play on one leg.
yeah.
There's so many ways that
There's
you
so
can make
many
this
ways
better.
that you could
Only
screw
No
this up.
biting.
helmets. No
Right.
helmets.
No helmets.
Overtime. No helmets.
Sure.
No helmets. No pads.
No pads at all.
No
yeah.
cleats.
Oh no.
Change
See how fast you are now, Tyreek Hill.
change the football
No
to a bowling
cleats.
ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, there's a lot of ways that you can make this worse.
It would make
Or
it
better.
worse, but it would be a little bit more entertaining. So
Throw a whole bunch of marbles on the field.
Oh yeah.
Rock
Oh,
and
there you
roll.
go. Yeah, change the
Play
field.
on ice, broom
Yeah,
ball.
ice.
Oh, there you go.
Broom ball. I hate so
Or
much
just play a
shit when I
totally
play-
different sport. Overtime is
That's how you make it worse. You bring out
Same
the
teams
basketball hoop.
playing cricket or something.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah. You change sports altogether.
You go cricket for overtime rules.
You have Limbaugh Joseph up there with the cricket bat. That'd be good.
You bring out the horses and play polo. That'd be fun.
Yeah. There's a
I
lot
love
of
it.
ways to make this different.
All right.
Sky's
Well,
the
there-
limit.
There you go, Bobby. I don't know if we answered it quite right, but
We
you got what you
definitely
got.
didn't. Sorry,
I really
Bobby.
did it. Yeah.
Thank you
Great
for
question.
asking. All right, well, now let's move it on to Sassy Sports Guy. No longer
Salty
salty.
is now sassy.
He is now officially
Uh-oh.
Sassy,
Sassy.
who asked
that
the
better?
question. Yeah, it's good. It's character.
I love it.
If you could have any current Charger player prepare a meal for you, who would you choose and why? Also, which player would you definitely not want preparing a meal for you and why? By the way, Herbie's victory brisket doesn't count because that's way too obvious of an answer. Yeah.
Gabe Neighbors. He probably cooks with.
He's probably
Justin.
learned a little bit from Justin. Yeah.
Hey, I'll take the sloppy leftover seconds and Gabe Neighbors meat smokery.
Wow.
Whoa, that was way worse than I did.
Now realize
Kevin's gonna smoke Gabe Neighbors meat
sloppily. Apparently.
Oh, wow, that was not what I intended at all.
Got lost in your words there, Kev.
Wow, real wordsmith.
That was amazing. All right, yeah.
Forgive me.
I can't think of anybody else that I would really want me to make.
Linval
Daniel.
Joseph probably knows how to cook.
He probably knows his way around.
He's probably got some good comfort food.
Sure,
not gonna lie.
Sure, that would be good.
Who not to make you food?
Whoever's a vegetarian on the team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think Matt Overton's on like what is it, the intermittent fasting right now. He's probably eating
That doesn't really count
healthy.
because it's not a meal.
I understand, but I think he's probably trying to like eat healthy.
You like
and
go over to his
everything.
house, he's like,
I'm sure his intermittent fasting isn't like 2 pizzas in a day or something like that. So, yeah. Well, there you go, Sassy Sports Guy. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Sufficient Tomato 60.
Certified fresh.
Yeah, okay. Who asked the question? Hey, the Rams game was rigged once it was a blowout. Then all of a sudden, Cup fumbles, bad snap, Akers fumbles, etc. Or are the Rams trying their best to do a Chargers impression? Hey. It certainly looked kind of weird because they went into the half. I brought the game up at halftime and I was like, holy shit, 30-3. My God, they're getting spanking the Bucks. And then as you saw Brady creeping back up, it was like, whoa, what's happening here, Rams?
Yeah, maybe the NFL made a call, like, hey guys, you can't do Tom Brady like this.
Hey.
Like
ease up.
This isn't good. This isn't a good look for the GOAT. Let him back in this
Good
thing.
look for the GOAT.
Yeah. And then they ended up ending it. So I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Win's a win.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean Chargers impression? We didn't make the playoffs. We don't we're not in the championship. These guys are winning. So yeah, power to them.
Yeah. There you go.
It was kind of cool. And while we're here, like the Eric Weddle playing was crazy.
Yeah.
Like
that flew over my head. I didn't even know. My dad told me on Sunday, I was watching. It was fun to watch Eric Weddle. I was like, Eric who? Eric Weddle? He's been retired for like 12 years. What are you talking about, Eric Weddle? Was he calling the game? What are you talking about?
Sideline reporter.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I remember seeing the headline and I was like, I wonder if he's actually out there. And sure enough, he was. The big bearded son of a bitch was out there. So it was good to see him out there.
Good for you for staying in shape, Eric.
Right. Yeah. He stayed by the phone waiting for somebody to call. And sure enough, somebody did. To come play the last couple games in a postseason with the team. Like, what a sweet gig.
Phil, stay in shape, Phil. Your opportunity's coming.
That's right.
Give him a chance.
All right. Sufficient Tomato 60. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Daniel Wallen, who asked the question. Okay, brochachos. I'm officially a Bengals fan. Who's you guys got from the NFC? I'm torn because the Rams are our LA rival, but I'm still butthurt over about the 49ers kicking the shit out of our Bolts in our only Super Bowl appearance. 49-26. The Chiefs, though. Okay, later on, dudes.
Yeah.
I think
go.
we've.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I can't do the Rams.
I can't do the Rams.
If it's not the Chargers, who cares?
I mean, ultimately it's who gives a shit, but I think it's
what it boils down to.
But if we had to pick, I'd say the 49ers. Yeah, I think we're
they
far
beat the
enough
crap
removed.
out of us so long ago, and they were that good. What are you gonna do? It's not like they beat us in overtime on a bad referee call.
Right.
Yeah.
They just beat the living crap out of us because they were one of the best teams ever. So
right.
The other three options aren't good.
As long as Rice isn't playing, I think we'll be okay. I'm okay not rooting for him or Steve Young.
There you go.
I'm not really rooting for actually I take that back. I'm not rooting for any.
I just want to watch some good football.
I'm actively watching with somewhat of a teeter-totter.
Yeah.
That's it.
Really, we're just looking for the Pro Bowl.
Active teeter-totter.
Yeah, Pro Bowl. We've got that marked on our calendar.
Let's talk about Pro Bowl.
Let's talk about Pro Bowl.
Bet your ass we will.
That's right. So, all right, there you go, Daniel Wallen. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Senora Snappy, who asked the question. Holy fucking cannolis, boys. Aaron, unfuckable man, Bun Rogers, and Tom Easy Bleeder Brady are both out of the Super Bowl contention. I don't know how I feel about this new world, boys. Man, I miss the good old days of Herbert slinging salamis to the rest of the crew. Sounds like the announcers do too, since they keep bringing up the Chargers. So, boys, who are we hoping to bring us down to the house for the final countdown of a SoFi? Because if the Rams win, we ain't never going to hear the end of our house. Okay, love you, bye.
That was a good one.
I apologize to every
You're
Italian
Italian.
everywhere. That's all I know of Italy is Mario. I apologize. So there you go.
Meatball.
He's got the spicy Yahoo!
Turtle.
Yeah, it is wild to see now a postseason of no Rodgers and no Brady after
it's so nice.
It's like been
so
22
nice.
years, I think.
I'm
or
sorry,
something
Josie,
like that.
but I don't like Aaron Rodgers. He's just an absolute a-hole.
I think there's a part of me that just talking with her, she's kind of annoyed with him. So that
good.
So
there's been a lot of drama with him, especially
it's hard
these
to root
past
for
couple
that
of years.
guy. He's just such like just doesn't seem like he cares. Like he's
bit,
just really good, so he does it, but he just doesn't care. He'd rather be in Hawaii with his girlfriend.
Yeah,
you know, that's what it feels like. So screw that guy. Tom Brady, you've been there enough. Go retire and enjoy your billions of dollars. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's go Niners. Come on. I guess that's what we're doing here.
That's right. I guess that's what we're doing. We're doing this now.
You've forced this on me, 49ers.
it is there's an element of like seeing Stafford with who has never really been to the playoffs before get there. Something interesting about that, but
yeah, he has a very Phillip Rivers-esque vibe,
right?
To
It's
him.
a similar kind of vibe. So kind of hope for that guy. Like he finally gets on a new team and gets there.
He just spends $1 gajillion on their roster, and they're good.
That's all it took, was just getting on a new team his first year, and he's good. So
something to take note of for sure. But
we got to spend a bunch of money
and spend a lot of money. Yeah. Senior Snappy, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Gruder McBolt, who asked the question.
Hey, it's Corey Haim here. What an epic game between the Bills and the Chiefs. Those were some epic drives. None were better than Herbert's drive against the Raiders, though. I should know about drives. I started a movie called License to Drive. As we drive into the offseason and into the history books, what car did you guys learn to drive in? And did you ever go to a drive-in? Love you guys to the max, dudes. Bolt up. K-love you, bye.
K-love you, bye.
All right.
Gruder.
All right. So
what is it?
What car did we learn to drive in?
Get into my car. That's the song from License to Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle, you're too young. That was 80s shit.
It's funny. So the car that I learned to drive in was my buddy Nick's car, and he drove this like Oldsmobile, just like those cars that were like boats. They were just huge. And I remember specifically him letting me drive it around in Qualcomm Stadium parking lot.
Nice.
Like, it was just like an empty parking lot, and we just kind of just drove around for the first time. That was before I got my license.
Mine was the Toyota MR2, and it's a little tiny little sports car.
2-seater.
Oh, I remember that car.
Remember
Yes.
that red one?
Yes.
And it had a turbo button. You push the button, and it like, woo!
Really?
And, yeah, it was a good time. That was a good time. Miss that car.
I don't remember I think I learned to drive in Dad's like Nissan Maxima. I think that was my
Maxima.
Yeah. I think that was it. Had a spoiler on it. Yeah. I think that was the Nissan Maxima, the gold Nissan Maxima.
Gold
nice.
One, yeah. And driving, yes.
Driving, yeah.
Love drive-ins. We have one here near me, and we go when the weather's right and post up, go watch movies. I'm a movie fanatic, so whenever I can chance to go see anything,
get out of here.
Facts.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I remember going as a kid. I definitely didn't go in like my teens and 20s, but up here there are a couple drive-ins, and I've gone a couple times up here, and it is fun. It's a nice different experience because I think up here we get to see at least 2 movies. They'll do back-to-back movies and with a little intermission, which is fun.
I love the Halloween, like when they do Halloween drive-ins, because they do like crazy old throwback movies.
Ooh, I haven't done that. That sounds awesome.
So
I'm all
fun.
about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, Gruder McPole. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Cerberus21, who asked the question. First off, f- the Raiders and f- the Chiefs, baby! But good heavens, that ending in Arrowhead was insane. Josh Allen looked like the champion sent from the heavens to dethrone the great Mahomes. But alas, 13 seconds was all he needed to send his team to overtime. F***ing shit, baby! And of course, since the NFL is rigged, the Chiefs got the ball first. Buffalo played so valiantly, and I'm so sorry to see them go. I will say this young group of great QBs and Herbert, Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow got me hyped, baby, for the next decade of football. I was thinking of this hypothetical. Say the Titans decided to pull all the stops to get them a QB because Tannehill looked like hot garbage. If you were the Chargers GM, would you trade Herbert to the Titans in exchange for Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Kevin Byard, Ryan Tannehill, and 4 first-round picks? Baby!
No.
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 Because those 4 first-round picks don't guarantee you an elite quarterback, and Ryan Tannehill sure as crap is not. So no, absolutely not.
No.
Derrick
You
Henry.
hit a jackpot like Justin Herbert. You never get rid of him.
No. That's
Until
as they say,
until
it's
he's sick of playing.
generational talent. Like he just is that good.
Yeah.
Can't give that up.
And
No
he sits
way.
in his locker wearing his full pads after games he loses because he's running through the game and what he could
I'll
have
build.
done better
I'll build
instead.
around that. I'll lose with
All
that
day.
for a couple of years, and it's going to be out of control once it's done.
That's right.
Bold prediction.
Mm.
Want to hear the boldest? I don't think we're going to have another losing season under
Herbert Staley.
Nope.
I believe it, dude. I've seen no reason why.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. I love it. There you go. All right.
There you go.
Cerberus21, thank you for asking
Didn't
the
ask
question.
for a bold prediction, but you got it.
You got it. All right. Let's move on to Mr. J Stone 13.
Hold on. Hold. Certified fresh.
Who asked the question?
Got a question for Ask Boltfam. Everyone's been connecting Mike Williams to the franchise tag, but I'd personally rather sign Mike Will and franchise tag Nwosu. Just curious on your guys' thoughts on who should receive the tag. You guys are the best. Bolt up, Caleb, you buy.
This is a good question, and I'm interested in. There's something. It's that creative NFL accounting where if you franchise tag, it's this amount, right?
Yep.
It's this incredible amount for 1 year.
You got to be paid a top 5 at your position, like,
Exactly.
whatever that is.
If you sign Mike Williams, you see these contracts escalate, or they have
Getting bigger and bigger,
bonuses, or you get the amount per year goes down. So my take, what I'm interested in is getting the best roster we can right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think signing Mike Williams, which I think we're all confident in saying we want him for 4 more years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sign him so you don't have to blow the money and to be worrying about signing him the next year because he's going to have another great season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the franchise tag, you got to be a top 5 player at your position, though. I don't think Uchenna is a top 5 player at his position.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mike Williams, you could argue, is worthy of that money, but I want him long term. He just finished his rookie contract. He's still a young guy that's just getting better every year.
Yeah.
I want Mike Williams, and you see the relationship that Justin Herbert has with Mike Williams on the field. It can't be denied. That's his security blanket when he needs a big play.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he goes. Like Keenan Allen's a great wide receiver, but that's where Herbert goes. And he needs that big time game on the line play. He goes to Mike Williams.
Right.
So he needs to be locked up for the next four years. And Uchenna, I don't think he's worthy of being paid a top 5 pass rusher.
Mm-hmm.
Pass rushers are big paydays. Those guys get paid a lot of money
for that position.
So I don't think you franchise either of those 2 guys.
All right.
Yeah, I think there's something with Mike Williams. If you guys just look back at the season and those most memorable, fun things that you had during these games,
It's always
Mike
him.
Williams was involved in those plays. So
Right.
keep that in mind when you're like, what do we do with this? Do you want more of that? If you want more of that, let's get a contract to this guy right now.
Big time. Yeah.
And we all watched All In. Like the way this, like, I didn't know that he had that kind of grit to him. When he goes to the sideline and puts his head in his jersey and says,
Right, they didn't show
"Oh, that was for the game." Like I had it. Like I don't see that at a Mike all the time. The fire that like Keenan talks with in his
Mhm.
pressers. You don't get that out of Mike. So I didn't know he had that kind of fire in him. I really, really want him signed up long term.
Big time.
He's like the wide receiver version of Herbert, just a kind of a quieter,
Quiet, yeah.
go out there and just kill it.
Right.
You never hear about him outside of him playing football. It seems like he's just a chill, hang out at home kind of guy that gets just slays on the field.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Nothing, not to take anything away from Slayer, but he does slay.
But yeah, we've got a couple
We'll
of slay. Yeah,
We're slaying.
yeah, we're slaying left and right. So there you go, Mr. Chase Stone 13. Thank you for asking the question. Let's moving on now to Gavin Gibson, who asked the question.
Gavin.
After not getting the AFC West title for a Christmas present, if you were guaranteed the AFC West title and an easy path to the Super Bowl, would you all shave off your majestic beards and stay clean-shaven for a year? Asking this out of jealousy that I can't grow a good full beard like you guys. As always, both the up. Okay, love you. Bye.
Absolutely. I will gladly, because I have the shittiest beard out of the trio. Trash.
I was about to say, Kev, how does it feel to be complimented on your beard? That might have been the first time ever.
It's because I never turn my head this way.
You don't
or
see the patch
this way.
You can really just see the goatee, and it
Yeah,
does
it
look
looks.
good.
It works. It really
It
does.
works.
Yeah.
How about you, Kyle?
I would. I like my beard, but I'm not as tied to it, I think, as Bulldog is. I think
Super
I
Bowl
would
Bulldog,
happily
1
go
year.
clean shaven.
It'll grow back lickety split.
Well, first of all, I just want to clarify, is talking about getting the AFC West title. Not necessarily.
And a clear path to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
So, of course I would. Of course I would. Of course I would.
Cool.
Okay.
Should we do it? Should we put it
No.
down if we get
No,
to the
because you
AFC
can't
West?
guarantee me this.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to risk a
If
full
Justin
year.
calls
without
my
it.
phone and says, Kyle, if you shave your beard, we're going to do it, I'll shave it.
Oh, absolutely. In a heartbeat. If that was the
I'd
case.
shave my eyebrows. I'd go that far.
Yeah, let's
I would not
wax
have a
it all.
single hair
Let's
on
get
my
rid of all
body.
of
If
it.
you
Yeah.
say we were going to be in the AFC Championship, I will shave my eyebrows and
Naked
my
mole
beard.
rat.
Yeah.
And I'll grow my hair out really long so I look super weird.
Let's not do that. But hey,
Yeah, no
Gavin
thanks, yeah.
Gibson, we totally would. We all totally would. So thank
100%.
you for asking the
Because
question.
we'd be doing you guys, we'd be helping you guys too.
It's for all
Yeah,
of
we're
us.
like-
yeah,
yeah.
it's not just for me.
Yeah.
We're all in, baby.
We're here to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do it our way. All right. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to a free.
Certified fresh.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but you've got a question. It goes like this. Really looking forward to who we draft this offseason. Whether we get a defensive tackle or whatever, it's looking like we're gonna need film on guys who have luck winning coin tosses too. My question is for Coach. If you were offered a coaching job from the AFC West rival, would you take it?
You gonna do, Coach?
Yeah, questions to you, big guy.
Probably. Yeah, I probably would. In the back of my mind, I would still be rooting for the Chargers. Especially if I'm just like a lowly
Ooh.
Hold
position
on.
coach or
Double agent.
I was gonna say, would you
happily
call up the
Happily.
wrong play or throw
great
out?
call. No, I would just get the playbooks and send them right to Staley. Yeah, PDF the crap out of those right to his email.
Let's go.
They'd be like, you know what? This guy, he hasn't played a snap all week. I think or all year. I think it's time we put him in for the championship game. What do you guys think?
If I had that, I mean, if we're going as far as coordinator position, yeah, if I could talk to Tommy T and be like, hey man, like I'll throw the crap out of this game if you get me a spot next year. Definitely.
Definitely.
All right. Well, there you go. Afri or Afri.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank
man.
you for asking the
Welcome.
question and welcome. Absolutely. Let's move on now to an old favorite, Okie Doggy, who asked a question. Oh, God damn it. Can we just cancel this year already? Just have the NFL say the refs were atrocious this year and too many games were influenced by their calls? It was already bad enough that I went 0-4 this week with my picks. Doggone it. But anyways, here's my question to you guys. If you could take 2 players away from each AFC West rival, not to join our team, but have those players not be a part of their team, who would it be? One from the offense and one from the defense, preferably. Thanks, guys. Oh.
Mahomes?
Yes.
Gone.
Get him out of here.
Cut. Get him out of here. Fired. Defense? Jones? Is that his name? The defensive tackle?
Tyrann Mathieu.
I was going to say Mathieu would probably be the one that I would
It's
pull.
that defensive lineman that wrecks havoc all the time that we didn't actually play against.
I know who you're talking about.
It's not Jones.
It's Jones.
Or
Jones.
Sorensen.
Yeah.
The safety Sorensen.
Yeah,
He really chaps my ass.
But
I
keep
really
him in
don't
there.
like
He
that
kind of
guy.
sucks.
I just don't like watching him. I feel like he has decent games against us.
He's always he's in the mix. Okay, so that's Kansas City.
Raiders, definitely keep Carr because he's a piece of crap.
Keep him on that roster.
Yeah, Darren Waller I would get rid of on offense.
Yeah, 100%. And get rid of Pittman. I don't want him on that team anymore.
Yeah, I don't like watching him do good on the Raiders. Just
No.
let him go. Hey, let him go play somewhere else and have a great career.
Right. Yeah, that's all we're saying.
Should have stayed with the Panthers.
Broncos.
And Broncos.
One of their wide receivers, any one of them.
Jared
they're
Jeudy?
all pretty good. Yeah. Just keep
One of
Melvin
those.
Gordon on that team, please. For the
Yeah,
love of
keep
God.
Melvin
Sign
Gordon
him
for
to
sure.
a lifetime deal.
That's right.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then defensively, I would say Von Miller, but they decided to trade him away because they gave up on the season way too early.
Actually, offensively, I would say get rid of Quinn Miners because if I can't have him, nobody can.
Good answer.
Defensively, I would say Patrick Surtain, because
there
he's a
you go,
young
yeah.
stud.
Yeah, he's a
It's
fucking
only going
anyway.
to get better.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, Okie Doggy. Thank you for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Boltfam with shamelessly positive Ryan. And I love this question. I can't wait to ask it. It goes something like this. It's 2023, and the Bolts just win the Super Bowl, and Justin Herbert is named Super Bowl MVP. There are 3 shot glasses lined up for you guys. One is filled with Kansas City fan tears, the second with Bronco fan tears, and the last with Raider fan tears. Who gets which shot? Ready, go. K, love you, bye.
This is such a good question.
I love this question so much. So I
Mix
this
them
is
all together,
interesting.
shake them up in a martini shaker, and we got a little shooter on our hands.
There you
boys.
go. Yeah, that'll get you drunk
Suck
quicker.
it, AFC West. Yeah.
But if you had to pick, I think Kevin would get the Kansas City one, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have to go very far. I have some friends I could go down the street and just
Right.
wring out some of those eye water out of them.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think Kevin would get the Kansas City one. Kyle, I think you would get the Raider one.
I think that's
you-
fitting.
Happily.
Yeah, I think
I'll
you
happily
hate
drink those Raider
I mean, we
tears.
all hate the
You might
Raiders,
have to
but I
go
think
get
you
them.
hate the Raiders.
You might have to
really
go
hate
get
the Raiders,
tested
yeah.
after though.
Right. Yeah,
Oh,
you
that
might.
is true. Yeah, that's very true.
Or you can do it like
I
hot
don't
sake
want-
where you boil it to the point and then just like
There you
Yeah,
go.
I'll boil it to kill
Just
all
like
the
that.
disease.
I don't know what kind of germs are in tears, but there's all of them in Raider tears.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would just drink the Denver one for no other reason other than it would just be delicious. to
Nice
take
and
a
cold,
shot.
chilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chilled. It'd be cold. Rocky Mountain cold.
There you
Rocky
go.
Mountain. Yeah, it's like, it'd be like a Coors banquet.
The banquet shot.
Yeah. There you go. All right. I think that's just an awesome question. Shamelessly
That was a good
positive,
one.
Ryan.
Okay.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for Ask Bolt Fam, and that's going to do it for this episode. All right. Any Bolt predictions that we want to throw out there for this upcoming
49ers, Bengals.
Yeah.
That would be the weirdest Super Bowl.
I love it. I would be
Yeah.
all about it though.
So
49ers,
weird.
Bengals.
Bunch of 4th seeds
Yeah.
going at it.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. That'd be
Oh.
fun. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Kid loves you. Bye.
Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors. When it comes to shots, what do you reach for? Tequila? Vodka? That's for amateurs. How about the tears of your enemy? That'll put hair on your chest. Have yourself a shot of Competitears. Take a look at all 3 flavors. Bronco Buff, Chief Freak, or if you really want to test your mettle, reach for the Raider Rooter. Competitears. Nothing tastes sweeter.